Pathway to Tech in 2026 feels like a stage bursting with new energy, as if the curtain has lifted on a new act in the story of modern technology. The year opens with AI everywhere, not as a feature, not as a novelty, but as the foundation of computing itself. It hums beneath every interface, every device, every service. GPT-6 looms on the horizon, expected to arrive with a leap in reasoning so significant that today's models already feel like relics from a simpler time. And yet, even with all this momentum, true AGI remains just out of reach. Researchers say the missing ingredient is polymathic intelligence, the ability to think across disciplines the way a human polymath does, and that milestone is still a couple of years away. But the direction is clear, and the pace is relentless. As the year moves forward, the AI landscape narrows into a two-horse race. Google pushes Gemini deeper into its ecosystem, weaving it into search, productivity tools, and everyday interactions until the line between a query and an AI-generated insight becomes almost invisible. OpenAI, meanwhile, continues transforming ChatGPT into a full-fledged search engine, one that feels conversational, intuitive, and increasingly indispensable. Smaller companies merge, pivot, or quietly disappear, unable to keep up with the speed and scale of the giants. And with U.S. regulations still lagging far behind, innovation races ahead without much oversight, leaving both excitement and unease in its wake. Meanwhile, the RAM shortage that began in 2025 tightens its grip. Prices climb, graphics cards become scarce, and consumers feel the squeeze as upgrades become harder to justify. Companies that stockpiled RAM early will thrive, while everyone else waits for relief that won't come this year. NVIDIA continues to dominate the AI chip world, but PC gamers feel increasingly sidelined as the company focuses on enterprise hardware and data center demand. Their frustration grows louder, but NVIDIA's priorities remain clear: AI first, everything else second. The ARM revolution, however, keeps gaining momentum. Apple's M series remains the gold standard, setting expectations for battery life and performance that traditional x86 chips struggle to match. Qualcomm's Snapdragon X Elite and Plus finally give Windows machines a real shot at long-lasting, high-performance computing, and while Intel and AMD still ship the majority of systems, the winds are shifting. 2026 may be the year ARM-based Windows PCs finally gain measurable traction, reshaping the landscape of personal computing. Apple, meanwhile, prepares for what may be its biggest moment in years. After nearly a decade of rumors, 2026 could finally be the year the company unveils its long-awaited AR glasses, lightweight, polished, and ready to compete with Meta, Israel, Samsung, and Google. Whether they debut at WWDC or alongside the iPhone 18, Apple knows it can't afford another Vision Pro-style misstep. The world wants something accessible, not experimental, something that feels like the future without the price tag of a prototype. Foldables continue their march into the mainstream as Samsung's Galaxy Z Trifold sets the tone, and Apple is expected to join the category with an iPhone Fold, an iPad Fold, or both. The only question is whether Apple will price them within reach or repeat the Vision Pro strategy. Behind the scenes, Apple is reportedly deep in talks with Google to bring Gemini into Siri, a partnership that could finally deliver the AI assistant Apple promised years ago. Tim Cook is expected to remain CEO through 2026, with John Ternus positioned as the heir apparent, though Cook won't step aside until Apple's AR glasses make their mark. Humanoid robots also step into the spotlight this year. The first wave of consumer-accessible models arrives, including the $20,000 Neo Beta from 1X. Early adopters should expect slow, limited performance. Think 45 minutes to empty a dishwasher, but rapid AI-accelerated training will push robotics forward quickly. Still, truly capable home robots remain at least 2 to 3 years away, and the gap between expectation and reality will be a recurring theme. Around the edges of the year, other shifts unfold quietly but meaningfully. AI actors appear in more commercials and background film roles, blending into scenes so naturally that viewers barely notice. Windows rebrands to Windows Copilot, signaling a future where the operating system is less a platform and more a partner. GPT-6 pushes boundaries, followed by a corrective GPT 6.1 after the inevitable controversies. Micro-RGB TVs challenge OLED with brighter panels and richer colors, while 8K TVs continue to stall, unable to justify their existence to a public that still hasn't fully embraced 4K. Gen Z and Gen Alpha drift away from social media toward in-person, phone-free experiences, reshaping the cultural landscape in ways no algorithm predicted. TikTok's ownership saga remains unresolved. Sam Altman and Johnny Ive's AI hardware generates buzz, but not mass adoption. And AI-powered cyberattacks increase, threatening major outages across platforms and cloud services, reminding everyone that progress always comes with a shadow. By the time the year winds down, one thing becomes clear. 2026 isn't the year everything changes, but it is the year everything starts to change. The foundations of the next decade are being laid quietly, steadily, and sometimes chaotically. The companies that move boldly and responsibly will shape the future, and the rest of us will feel the ripple effects for years to come.